Welcome to Wanna Bet, the daily gambling game show that takes betting seriously, but not much else. Get our favorite plays on the totals, sides, props, exotics, and futures to jump on now.
So let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Something custom can it calls about the console failing on. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason.
Yo, let's get it started indeed with Jason and Ben. I can't figure out how to. Oh, I think we're on a pretty big delay there, Ben. And Ben and Eric Casillas. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you, but I definitely am on a delay.
Yeah. Do we still have you there, Jason?
I got Jason great, but he's definitely.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, he's there. He's right there. It's right there.
What's that?
You're there. You're good.
You think we're good now?
You're live.
Okay.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right.
You're still live.
Hopefully we don't fall crazy behind. This is Wanna Bet. Look, we've been telling you guys new operating systems, a lot of things we're trying to upgrade here. Ben's doing a tremendous job with it, with some help from our friends at Odyssey. But it's the first time we've got we got our buddy Eric Casillas with us, so we've got a lot going on here on the technical side. And let's hope Ben's laptop can keep chugging right through. This show. If you're new to the show, look, we give you our favorite sports wagering plays every single day, 7 days a week. First, second, third down, 3 favorite bets we've made since yesterday. Fourth down's a bit of a catch-all. Sometimes it's fourth and short. Ways to get you paid quickly in these games without having to sit all the way through them. Fourth and long could be bets that won't be cashed for a long time. Maybe not till Sunday. Maybe long shot bets. And overtime, we give you football parlays every day, or football, because it's soccer and football season. So why wouldn't we? And as always, we are fully transparent. We show our work. What we did last night, what we've done since this show began, was not a great Sunday for me. Cole Kmet getting hurt. Kraft getting hurt. The Colts turning the ball over 6 times. Really hurt. Beltway Ben, though, continues to deliver for us, and we continue to hover right around 100 units up since we launched this show May 21st, although I've been bringing us down. Our buddy Eric Casillas, who again joins us pretty much every Monday. We are in a super betting Discord with him. You see the QR code there if you're watching. If you're listening, you're Spotify or you're on Apple podcast, you can go to our Twitter feeds, and there's a link tree in our bio that will take you to the super Discord. Every bet we make in real time. Again, the Lions having their worst game in a long time, especially coming off that much rest, was a shocker. And the Colts, look, still could have got home for me on some point totals if they didn't turn it over 6 times. It's worth noting they still hold the Steelers to 225 total yards and just 3.7 yards per play. And that was a 1-score game despite 6 turnovers. Beltway Ben, how was your Sunday?
Down a little bit. We were down just under 3 units. There were a few different ways we could have went. Of course, we'll talk about my favorite play of the day that I played 3 different ways, Brashard Smith. I thought we would get more from him, and we just didn't. When I saw Clyde Edwards-Helaire on the field, I was actually pretty frustrated. Like, the guy that was a joke pick for you, that was a complete failure, that wasn't working, and you throw him out there before Brashard Smith. I don't really like it. Didn't really get it, but it is what it is. It's why it's gambling. And he had a carry late, and I was like, please break one, so Reed has to keep him on the field. But he just wasn't really able to get anything going when he was on the field. We did cash Brock Bowers. We cashed McCaffrey, but we also lost a few parlays. We were on Monungai, his rushing yards, which we gave out live during the show, and his longest rush, which cashed for us as well. But we finished just under 3 units.
Yeah, it's not – I can't catch a break here. I mean, Jackson Smith and Jigba, I'm on him every way possible. He's wide open in the end zone multiple times. Darnold throws 4 passing touchdowns, and none go to the guy who had like 9 catches on 10 targets for infinite yards. That's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. We are, again, here to give you our best plays of the moment. We have our buddy Eric Casillas with us, as I noted. And I guess I'll go first here because we're kind of, again, getting used to this software, and that's been easier. Tonight's game, guys, give me Jacoby Brissett to throw at least 2 passing touchdowns. and the Cardinals to score at least 24 points, plus 120. Dallas's defense is god awful, right? I think that's an acknowledged fact. Even teams like the Jets look okay with them and put up 22 points against them. Washington puts up 22 points and a half with Daniels, then he gets hurt. The air went out of the ball there, but this is a Dallas defense that at home, since the start of last season, has allowed 45 offensive touchdowns against in just 12 games. They have no pass rush. Eberflus is a fraud. He's been exposed he was getting fired in Indianapolis if he didn't get the head coaching job in Chicago. He gets exposed in Chicago. Now he's being exposed again in Dallas. Dallas isn't good against wide receivers in the pass game. They're not good against tight ends in the pass game. They're not good against anybody in the pass game. They're allowing over 30 per game. Brissett's been great in 2 games there. Brissett makes the offense go better than Kyler Murray does. So we also like Jacoby Brissett to throw 3 or more passing touchdowns in this game, and the Cardinals on the money line for plus 550. Arizona's defense, quietly pretty solid. Only 7 rushing touchdowns allowed. You look at them, they're 8th in rush defense EPA. They don't get as many turnovers as you would like and as many interceptions. They're 7th in the NFL in opposers' QB rating. Like, they don't give up free cheapies downfield. I think they'll have a plan for CeeDee Lamb and try to force somebody else to beat them. And maybe it's Ferguson or whatever, but the defense has been really good. Arizona lost a bunch of games in batty fashion on last-second field goals. Like, they're in the toughest division in football, arguably, and they've shown they can play with those teams. Dallas, I don't buy their defense. Yes, their kicker is great. The offense is great, but Arizona's very live for me here. And if Brissett shows out tonight, Kyler Murray's staying on the bench. And I think the coaches there want to give Brissett every chance to show out tonight to keep Kyler Murray on the bench. And he's going against, again, a pass defense that is among the dregs in the NFL. So give me Brissett to have a night. EK, first down.
Yeah, I'm going to get into that game a little later, but as we build to our better picks, my first pick is going to go over to Sunday, and I'm going to go with a 6-point teaser where I pick 2 games. I get 6 points in the line in my favor in each game, but I've got to win both. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take Buffalo against Miami, and I'm going to tease that all the way down to 2 points. So Buffalo has to win by a field goal against Miami. I think Miami stinks. They fired the GM. I don't think the coach is any good. I think they're basically already playing for next year. They already sold Jalen Phillips. They're not any good. And Buffalo, I realize it's a flat spot, having just beat the Chiefs. But still, now they have to be thinking, number 1 seed, road goes through Buffalo. Let's check this box. So I think they will be energized. I think flat spot is a little bit of a lazy analysis. I think this is a spot where they go down there and they'll win the game by more than 2. The second one is I'm going to take Carolina at home against New Orleans. And now I'm getting points in this game from New Orleans. If I can get points from New Orleans outside, give them to me. Because New Orleans is terrible. We talked about it all summer long. I thought New Orleans would be the team on the clock. I didn't think they'd be very good on offense. I'm not impressed at all with what they're doing. They're trying to find a quarterback. The first guy loses every single time he plays in Spencer Rattler, and Tyler Shuck just isn't NFL quality. So give me Carolina and Buffalo in a teaser, pick number 1.
Beltway Ben, first down.
Yeah, first down, we're going to college basketball. First college basketball bet of the year, I believe. We're going with the BYU team total over 81.5. And you look at this matchup for them. We will talk about Kevin Willard a lot this year, I'm guessing, because he's a fraud, not a good coach. Kevin Young had the Cougars as one of the top offenses in the country last season in year 1. Comes from the NBA, has that background. Players want to play for him because their goal ultimately is usually not to win a national championship. I mean, you want to, but you want to go to the NBA when going to a college. You have Richie Saunders back, one of the most efficient guards in the country, great shooter. Keita's back inside. He's a mismatch for anybody that Villanova has. Willard went to Nova late. It was a weird situation. He was able to grab a recruit or 2, but their team is just not very good. Now, for me, this matchup is going to be BYU running the score up and Villanova keep up if you can. If Villanova can score a little bit and Lewis can keep up with them and make some plays and some of the younger guys can, then that'll be fine. But I'm not buying what Nova has. Kevin Willard's teams don't play defense. If you want to tell me 2 years ago Maryland's defense was one of the best in the country, I was believing that at the time because I'm a Maryland fan. Go back and look. Their offense just sucks so much that they didn't play at a high enough pace. And the teams, I mean, you're going to play good defense, that's fine. But they were dribbling the shot clock out because they couldn't score, and it was just ugly. BYU last year was over this in 6 straight games to start the season and 19 of 36 on the year. They're now bringing in Debinsa, who everybody's talking about. He's going to be the #1 overall draft pick next year. That's fine. Not a lot of youth, though. Like, Rob Wright comes in. He's already played a year at Baylor. They're going to have a lot of success scoring. And to me, it's going to be more like Villanova playing like Maryland last year, where if they're going to be good, they're going to be scoring. They bring in Duke Brennan from Grand Canyon, a big that can stretch it outside. That's the only chance they have is to score. They're not going to play much defense. And BYU, there's only a select few teams around the country that can match up well with them and beat them and play good defensively. And Villanova, to me, is not one. So I'm not playing a spread. I'm playing BYU's team total over 81.5 at -120.
I am with you on that bet. Meatball and I co-signed that bet, put us a unit there. And we also like, for a unit, BYU and an alt line laying 13.5 at +185. It's one thing if Willard brought a bunch of Maryland kids over with him and you had that foundation. He's brought nobody. Nobody. Most of them didn't have eligibility left, and ones like Rice who did wanted nothing to do with him anymore. He's got nobody to instill that immediate culture. It is a complete startup. BYU has 2 all-conference performers added to what was left over, a strong nucleus. They're going to have too much athleticism. They're going to have too much height. And I think they're going to make a statement as a team that can battle Houston. I mean, look, we've got a column up soon with our buddy Seth Davis over at Hoops HQ. I put some money on BYU to win that conference. And you can get, 5-1 on that. Like, I think they start out making a point that they are among the country's elite with newcomers who could be nothing short of transformational. Second down, I'll stay in hoops. NBA parlay. Let's parlay the Bucks to beat the Pacers tonight. Giannis to score 30 points in the process, and the Knicks to score at least 119 against the lowly Wizards. Look, Indiana's won 1 game all year. They've been a mess. Their injury report is a mess. They're losing on average by 8.7 points per game. And again, they've lost all but 1 contest. They're allowing 121 points per game. They are horrible defending the paint. They're allowing 56 paint points per game, 25th in the NBA. Greeky Freaky's coming to town. He's destroying the paint. Milwaukee is 3rd in the NBA, making 62% of their 2-point shots. And a lot of that is Giannis. And he's picking up a lot of fouls in the process. I just think this is a mismatch where these teams are right now. We saw Giannis get some load management last week. I think he'll be up for this against an Eastern Conference team that they've got a history with, that they've got a playoff history with. The Bucks seem to be out to make a statement that they're back, and I'm inclined to believe them. So not worried about laying the 6.5 or wherever that number goes. Bucks win. Freaky Freaky scored 30 or more in every game he's played except for 1 this year. And then the Knicks, look, this is what Washington's allowing per game. 125, 127, 139, 139, 107. That was that fluke game against Dallas. 133. Like, the Knicks at home against a team that can't defend. We're going to take that number down below 120. We're going to take it down below 119, actually, plus 194. Second down, EK.
Second down, I'm going to the game tonight, and I'm going to go right at Trey McBride, and I'm going to go over 6.5 catches here. I know there's some juice that you got to pay on this, but I'm going to grab it. I think this is going to move to 7.5 well before game time. I just look at what he's done with Jacoby Brissett. 2 games, 24 targets. Well, I mean, 18 catches, 3 touchdowns. Like, this guy is Jacoby Brissett's guy. And when you have my guy against a terrible defense that doesn't stop the tight end, and you could say Marvin Harrison is the highest drafted player, but McBride is their best player on offense. He's going to get fed tonight. I see him catching at least 7 passes tonight. Give me all the McBride I can get before it moves to 7.5, because if you don't grab it now, it's going to be gone later.
I will have much more on Trey McBride in overtime. Second down, Ben.
Yeah, we're going to play a running back for the Cardinals here. We're going to go with Bam Knight over 48.5 rushing yards at -118. The Cowboys, 48.8% success rate against the run. That is last in the NFL, bottom 3 in defensive EPA against the run. Last week, 14 for 57 against the Packers, whose defense is much better than what the Cowboys have against the run. Now, he bounced around the league for a few years, still just 24 years old. He's young, and he's finally given an opportunity. Michael Carter could dip into his carries. We saw it last week. He had 7 carries for 11. Like, no efficiency, not much there. They like what they see in Bam Knight, and I think they're going to try to get as much as they can from him in this one. Now, could Jacoby Brissett throw all across this Cowboys defense? Yes, but I do think they don't want it to be a 50-50 game. Now, we talked about it before. Jason touched on it. The Cardinals defense, everybody looks at how they've been bad and all these different things. If you look deep into it, their defense is pretty good. But I think they'll want to keep those guys on the sideline a little bit more, let the run game get going a little bit. And Bam Knight, over 48.5 rushing yards. That's not even that much. For an RB1, that's a fair number against a really bad defense. So again, Bam Knight, over 48.5 rushing yards at -118.
Third down, we are going to Monday Night Football across the pond in England, 3 p.m. kickoff on USA Network, I guess. If not USA Network, then certainly the Peacock. Look, Sunderland, we talked about them on the show a little bit through the course of the year. Wasn't totally buying them, especially not on the road as a just promoted side to the Premiership. But at home in the Stadium of Light, they've been nothing short of brilliant. And frankly, they've been nothing short of brilliant all told, given where expectations were for them to be flirting with a European spot a third of the way through the season is amazing. They host Everton. Everton on the road are garbage. Toffees can't travel. So here's what we like here. Give us Sunderland double to win or draw and to score at least twice at home today. Look, if you're looking at Liverpool, their away form, their last 7 games overall, 1 win. They've scored just a total of 4 times in those 7 games. What happens to the Toffees when they go on the road? 2-0 loss, 2-0 loss, 2-1 loss, 3-2 win, and a loss 1-0. Sunderland at home have been doing the job. Again, for these purposes, we need them to score twice and just not lose the match at home, despite playing a pretty tough schedule. 2-0, 1-1, 2-1, 3-0. They're in great form. They've routinely been scoring 2 goals or more at home. I think they can get one early against the Toffees here. David Moyes, the Toffees manager, used to manage at Sunderland. That crowd's going to have a little something for him. And look, so we're deep enough into this Premiership season now that I think you have to start looking at what Sunderland's doing, especially again given the schedule they played, and give them their due. They're playing their asses off. Third down, EK.
All right, third down, and this is obviously where you want to make your best play because this is the critical down, and I call this the LA story. I am taking, and I'm giving you 2 picks. I know you're not supposed to, but, whatever. It's the first day with this great new, scene we have. I'm going to break mold and tradition. I like both of the LA teams here, okay? I like the Rams over the Niners. I think the Niners are a little fraudulent. They're a little banged up. I think they've been a little lucky in a couple of spots. And I think the Rams are rolling like Limp Bizkit back in 92. So I'm going to take the Rams and only give 3 as they move up the coast a little bit to go to San Francisco. The other LA one, I like the Chargers to beat the Steelers. Also 3. So it's basically you're taking the LA teams and you're laying the 3. Here's the little thing. Pittsburgh stinks. I know they won. They beat Indianapolis. Indianapolis had 6 turnovers. Yeah. Pittsburgh was at home, and they won by 7 points. If you get 6 turnovers in your barn and you only win by a touchdown, you're not any good. Don't get fooled by the box score. Watch the game, you know what I was going to say, and you'll know it is time, especially when they go away from Steel City, to start hammering against the Steelers. They are who we thought they were, and that's why we're going to take the Chargers to beat down the Steelers and the Rams to beat the 49ers. Both the LA teams given 3. It will be nowhere near 3 by kickoff. We'll be at 4, 4.5 type of thing. You got to get it today.
Love it. Love it. Yeah, Steelers hurt me. The Colts hurt me. However you want to look at it. But wait, Ben, third down.
Third down here, we're going to go with Jake Ferguson, over 40.5 receiving yards. It's been a tough few weeks for Fergie. Some of that is because CeeDee Lamb's came back, and there's a lot of different things going on there. I do think he has a breakout game here. Arizona, we talked about their defense before. They've been stellar against almost everything. Tight ends have given them issues. 68.7 receiving yards they're allowing to tight ends per game, fifth most in the NFL. With him, 3 quiet games in a row, he's due for the big game. Now, opposing tight ends have gone over this number in 4 straight against the Cardinals. Fergie is 40 is not too much. Like early in the year, he was clearing this regularly. And overall in the season, he's cleared it more than not. The issue is, since CeeDee Lamb has been back, we haven't seen as much from him. There's been a lot of money coming in on him because Dak likes to throw his way. He just hasn't been able to connect yet. I do think tonight we see a big game from Fergie because, as we mentioned, wide receivers aren't doing much against Arizona. CeeDee Lamb, he's still going to get his, but they might be able to shut him down. We might not see a 150-plus yard game. It might be regular. Fergie will be there for safety throws, middle of the field, all of those things. I like Fergie over 40.5 receiving yards at -110.
Excellent. Fourth down for me. It'll be a 4th and long because these games are not played for a long time, at least, by our standards. Not until the weekend, but I've got a little football parlay here. Lions -7.5. That's already getting north of 8.5 in some shops. And the Jags and Texans, let's take that total to 45.5 and go under. So Lions got to win by 8. Jags and Texans have to go under 46 total points plus 150. Look, if you're in the Super Discord, we jumped on the Lions Sunday morning laying 3 because they're playing Washington. We thought Washington would get dismantled by Seattle. Now, we also thought the Lions would frankly win and do the job against Minnesota. It didn't happen, but Dan Campbell's not going to be able to blitz like that and get home and affect Goff. And I know the Lions' offensive line is beat up, but that's not happening twice in a row. Dan Campbell doesn't have back-to-back terrible performances, and Dan Campbell was reading that team the riot act, and rightfully so. Dan Campbell is a covering machine, and Washington's got nothing to play for. And they know it, and they look like a team that's waving the white flag. And they've been horrible at home, and Mariota is going to be in trouble against Aiden Hutchinson. Washington doesn't have an offensive line. They don't have a defensive line, and that's going to be a hungry Lions team out for blood. As for that Jags-Texans game, I mean, look, the Jags-Raiders game was 9-6 through 3 quarters, and then all hell broke loose. Jacksonville's offense sucks. Trevor Lawrence sucks. Jacksonville's defense relies on takeaways. Davis Mills is going to be handing the ball off and throwing high-percentage passes. Houston, I mean, it's not going to be Stroud with a concussion, is perfectly content to win ugly. Houston's a dead under team. Houston's games at home. Well, Houston's games overall this year are averaging 36.13 points. Houston's games at home this year are averaging 34.75 points. Houston's games since the start of last season at home, 39.5 total points. And I don't buy Jacksonville as an over team. And again, Houston's a top 3 defense, and Jacksonville against Davis Mills should be able to hold the Texans in check. So unless we get a whole bunch of pick sixes, I think we're all right there. And again, I think the Lions have a beatdown in Washington. 4th down, EK.
I'm going to go to the game tonight, and I think Dallas will start fast in their building. I don't know if they're going to win the game. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I mean, I could see this being a one tip ball, one possession. Is there a pass interference flag thrown kind of game where it's going to be pretty tight? But I do think at home, especially if they can get the kickoff, they'd have to lose the toss in all likelihood, but you get my point. If they receive, I like Dallas in the first quarter on the money line, given $1.30, which is now, as I'm looking, it's up to $1.35. Dallas is an absolute wagon on offense. Like, I know it's fun to make fun of the Dallas defense, and I certainly do too. You call them the Dallas Cowboys. There's no D. Whatever joke you want to use, go for it. But here's the thing. As bad as that defense is, that offense is as good, if not better, in comparison. They are not getting stopped tonight, at least early. I mean, yeah, you may get a fumble, you may get a drop ball, that kind of thing. But I think when they come out on that turf with that place and their hair on fire, I think they score at least 1 in the first quarter. And as you mentioned, Arizona's pretty good against the run, which shows up in spots. But their secondary has been banged up in spots. They've been out some guys. They've been a little inconsistent in the secondary. And I do think with all those weapons, there's going to be a Dallas early feel. And then you're going to wake up and realize, oh, wait, Arizona can run the ball too. Oh, wait, Jacoby Brissett's pretty good. Oh, wait, this is a football game. Give me Dallas in the first quarter. I only lose the bet if I'm losing at the end of the first quarter, which I don't think will be the case. Dallas money line first quarter.
Overtime for me. Again, we told you guys football and football parlays every day during football season. We talked about McBride earlier in the show.
It was.
Sorry, my bad. Duh. Sorry, Beltway bad.
Yeah,
fourth down.
Fourth and short. It'll be quick. We do have Jake Ferguson, 25 plus first half receiving yards. We took it up. His number's 20.5, but we're taking it here to get plus 127 because I think the value's good enough. Like, I don't know that Dallas is trailing a ton late where we're going to steal a bunch of yards late. And if they are, that's fine. I still think we see Fergie across the middle of the field regularly, early and often. As I said earlier, Arizona's allowing close to 70 receiving yards per game to tight ends. From the jump, I think they're going to go at him. In the games where we've seen him go over this, he's cleared this in the first half. I think this could quite honestly be 50, 60, 70 yards, something like that for him. If that does happen, the end of the second quarter is huge for us. I love those spots where you have a team trying to get in field goal range, moving quick, making it quick hitters for Dak. And Dak's a smart quarterback. We don't have to worry about him chucking it way down the field every play. He can do that, but he also likes to get his tight end involved. So I do like Ferguson, 25 plus first half receiving yards at plus 127.
Yeah, I think this could be a big night for tight ends. And sorry about the preemptive strike there. Fourth down for me. I'm so excited about Trey McBride tonight. I lost my place. And in my defense, it's the first time we've done a three-person one of these with the new operating system. Look,
so you're overtime now, right?
What's that?
You're on overtime now, right? Are you?
What did I say? Overtime. Did I say fourth down again?
Yeah.
We knew what you meant.
Yeah. It's been one of those weekends. Overtime. McBride to catch at least 6 balls. McBride to have at least 60 yards receiving. And the Cardinals to score at least 27 points, plus 212. EK made a lot of the points about McBride. I think he goes off here. 24 targets in 2 games with Brissett. I waited to see who was definitely going to be starting before I started really exploring these markets. He has at least 72 receiving yards in both games with Brissett. 3 or 4 of Brissett's touchdowns have gone to McBride, and I do think he gets a touchdown, but things can get a little tricky there. I do know that Dallas is allowing 79% completions to tight ends. That's bottom 4 in the NFL. I frankly think teams could throw to the tight end more against them than they have. If you look at attempts versus Dallas to tight ends, it's not as high as you would think for a defense that sucks so bad against them. Everybody knows where the holes are, and Eberflus is cover 2. And a move tight end down the seam is a real problem for anybody on Dallas's roster who tries to cover them. And Brissett knows where his bread is buttered. So we're playing those numbers down a little bit off of where the game totals are going to be. And then the 27 points, again, Dallas has given up 30 or more 5 times this year. And they could have easily given up 30 to Washington. They would have if Daniels didn't get hurt. And the Jets were within 1 score of it. I just think Dallas's defense is broke. And I think Jacoby Brissett's going to dice them up more than Kyler Murray, frankly, would have. It's a more predictable, more, I think, foundationally sound offense with Brissett at the helm. OT for you, EK.
I went with a nice little parlay, and you know, when I do a parlay, I like it to tell a story, right? I like it to be correlated, because basically what you're saying is if I get this game script, I win. I don't care if I lose all the legs or I lose 1 leg. It's either a win or loss. Like, there's nothing worse than somebody when I see their parlay and I'm like, yeah, you're going to win 3 out of 4 legs, but it's going to be really hard for you to thread that needle. I sort of go all in with my chips on the parlay, and I'm either going to win all 3 legs or lose all 3 legs. That's just a better way to do it for me. So I'm going to go with, this is going to be, not Silence of the Lambs, if you want a title of this thing. Give me CeeDee Lamb to score a touchdown and have 80 yards. Because, again, Dallas has a wagon of an offense, and Dallas to just win the game. So I just need Dallas to win and CeeDee Lamb to be good, not great, good. That's going to pay plus 345. So Lamb to score, Lamb 80 yards, Dallas wins, silence or unsilence of the Lambs, plus 345.
I love it. More like Lamb of God screaming. Some music
Nice.
has a
See,
good
this
reference.
is why you're here.
Lamb
You're
of
just
God.
better at it.
You should go Google some Lamb of God when next time you're on the treadmill there, EK. That'll get your heart rate up. Last and definitely not least, because he's absolutely single-handedly carrying this show these days, Beltway Ben.
We're going two different ways. We're gonna do one NBA. I don't like leaving you guys NBA free because, I mean, with the time that we did the show and things like that, sometimes I don't see the lines that I want. We'll jump more into the NBA tomorrow, I promise. So we will get to the NBA in 1 second. But we have Fergie, 25 plus receiving yards, Bam Knight, 30 plus rushing yards, and Dak Prescott, 1 plus touchdown pass, minus 130. We're moving our plays together. If anybody doesn't know who Fergie is, Jake Ferguson. I talked about him before. I don't see him getting held under 30, let alone 25. Bam Knight, 30 plus rushing yards. I think it's at least close enough that he gets this in the first half, maybe early in the third quarter. Should be a tight game regardless. And Dak, the only way he's not throwing a touchdown pass tonight is injury. I don't see it. And it's minus 130. We're not getting plus money, but this is a fair price for all these three things to happen. Now, the one NBA play that we have, it's a same game parlay. Keyshawn George, 2 plus 3-pointers made. Karl Anthony Towns, 8 plus rebounds, over 219. That's the alt over plus 101. Towns has gone for 11 plus rebounds in every game he's played in this year. The Wizards are allowing 50-point rebounds per game, second most in the NBA, 3/4. Keyshawn George, we are seeing the leap. There's not a lot to be excited for if you're a Wizards fan, but the future is one thing, and Keyshawn George is the brightest star that we have right now. Alex Sarr is taking those steps, but Keyshawn George is the real deal, can shoot the three very well, and the Knicks are allowing almost 16 pointers per game, 3-pointers per game. That 15.8 number, second most in the NBA. As good as they've been, they have not been good defending the three. It's another reason we're taking the alternate over. The Wizards are not going to play any defense. They know they want that top 5 pick if they can get it, and I think we'll see that continue. Keyshawn George will shoot the three fine. I trust that, but we are taking 2 plus 3-pointers made, Karl Anthony Towns, 8 plus rebounds, and the over 219 and a half at plus 101.
Excellent. Beltway Ben, let the people know again how we did yesterday, how we've done since we launched this show May 21st. There we go. I got to get better. I got to get above 50 units myself and stay there, and incrementally build instead of having these monster days and garbage days. But we keep it real around here. Beltway Ben, he's been steady cashing for you. And again, all of our picks, me, Ben, Eric Casillas, in real time, whenever we make them, the moment we find the value that we like, you get all that information in real time in the Super Discord, QR code there, Apple Bottoms and Spotifyers. You guys know what to do. Go to any of our Twitter feeds, go up in our bio. The link tree is there for the Super Discord. There we go. A lot going on. We got Champions League this week. We got the start of college basketball.